Good morning, my friends. A wee salute there for you. So, as the video says, man, 2 years in sobriety. Here's what happened. Blows my mind. It blows my mind. I could not get a weekend sober for 15 years, probably. And I didn't know what was wrong with me. Why is it that when I start drinking, I just can't stop? And I was baffled by it. Every time I go to the pub with my friend, right, strap me up to a lie detector test and I'll pass with flying colours. I'm only going for 4 pints and going up the road, and I believe it. And the minute that substance enters my body, this switch goes down and all bets are off. And in my experience, no human power's enough for me to stop. Like Christmas, birthdays, funerals, my mum, my sister, my house, my job, my driver's licence, nothing matters. I'm only thinking about getting one more. And then I came in to the rooms at Cocaine Anonymous and I hear about powerlessness and allergies and getting a sponsor and the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and everybody's talking about God and everybody's telling me what to do. And I'm from a housing scheme just outside sunny Glasgow, and I don't like being told what to do. Do you know what I mean? But the reality is that the game was up and I knew it was up, man. I should have got into these rooms a few years before I got in. But the body and the mind are marvellous mechanisms for being able to endure pain. And at the start of my drinking and my drug using, it was fucking brilliant. I can't lie. I loved it. And I was having a lot of fun. Holidays to Ibiza, tea in the park, getting out every weekend, going to the dancing, being full of confidence, full of life, full of party. And I absolutely loved the effects that were produced by drugs and alcohol. But at the end of my run, it wasn't like that. It was me sitting on a Tuesday, fucking still up from the Friday night, watching a camera, adamant that somebody was going to come and fucking do stuff to me, and nobody's ever done it in their life, do you know what I mean? And I'm a confident, outgoing man who speaks to people for a living. And at the end of my run, I could not string a sentence together. I didn't want to wash my body. I've got no money. I'm thousands of pounds in debt. I've lost my driver's licence. Maxed out another credit card. I've missed jail time by the skin of my teeth. I've just ruined Christmas Day for my mum and my sister. And I was totally fucked. At the end of my run, the drug addicts and the alcoholics didn't even want to answer my phone calls anymore. And over 2 years ago, man, it's the 27th of December just now. And 2 years ago on Christmas Day, that was the last time that any substances entered my body, which is a fucking miracle. And basically, what happened is I went to a party on Christmas Day. So you could imagine the sort of company that I'm keeping. And I had all of this stuff happen walking home. I thought I was being chased. I was paranoid. I had no money for a taxi. I thought I'm about to have a panic attack and a nervous breakdown here. My phone was dead and I had no way phoning like an ambulance or something. And I walk up the road and I thought I was getting followed. And I made the decision to run through this bit of grass and I slipped. And I didn't have a jacket on. And I had a white t-shirt on and I'm face down in this puddle of muck, and I got a bit further up again and then it started to rain and I got a bit further up again and it started to become hailstones, so it's like bouncing off me now. And I remember that point there, something very important happened at this part here in my recovery. God had showed up and I walked home and I remember screaming, ah, as hard and as loud as I could. And I started to ask God for help. I said, I can't do this anymore. And at that point there in my recovery, I was given it. The gift of desperation. Finally, I'd been beaten into a state where enough was enough. And I knew I was done, man. The next few days were fucking hellish. And as the book says, I can't bring into consciousness with sufficient force the pain and suffering even a few days, a few weeks or a few months ago. Because it's New Year's Eve and my friends are texting me, are you going to the pub? I'm like, aye, definitely. I'm getting my good shirt and that on, and I think it's a good idea to go to the pub again because I've been sober for a few days. I've felt a bit better. Everybody's forgot about what happened. This is great. And I don't have any social media, but I got a link to this sobriety podcast, Menace to Sobriety it was called. And it says on there, he's the Towie or the Chelsea people, I don't know who they are, but anyway, it was like, have you tried a CA meeting? And I'm like, oh, whoa, a CA meeting? I need to be injecting heroin to attend CA meetings, you know? And I've got this delusional thinking that I successfully, by the way, drink alcohol, sniff cocaine and take street Valium. Successfully is the word you're looking for there, by the way. Delusional. And if I find out that somebody is injecting heroin, then they need the meeting more than me because I'm better than them. Do you know what I mean? This delusional thinking. And the fella on the YouTube link said, if you go onto Google and type in the CA UK website and type in your postcode, you'll get meetings round about your surrounding area. So that's exactly what I done. And the next day, on the 1st of January, there was a CA meeting in the town next to me. And I remember putting my shirt on, and I remember thinking, right, it's either go to the pub in oblivion, or just stay off it tonight and go to the CA meeting in the next town. And by the grace of God, I went to the CA meeting. And when I go to the CA meeting, it's as if they're speaking a different language, do you know what I mean? But I keep hearing, they keep coming back and keep coming back and keep attending meetings, and sooner or later you're going to hear your story. And I was told to get a sponsor and to get the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous and start working a 12-step programme. And I heard somebody sharing, and I just sort of felt, he's the man I should be asking. And I just says to him, can you help me? Because I am fucked. I'm fucked. And he said yes. And he gave me some clear-cut directions in how to live my life. And he said, when you wake up in the morning, I need you to pray, do some meditation, and read these 2 pages of the big book, Alcoholics Anonymous. I said, right. And then he said, I need you to go on a meeting every day. Try and help some people throughout your day. Try not to be a bit of a see you next Tuesday. And to do a review of your day at night. And he says to me, John, I'll make you a promise. If you're done, truly done with no lurking ideas, no notions that if it's sunny or if it's Christmas or if my football team wins the cup or if my girlfriend gets a promotion at work, if my friend gets engaged, whatever it is, are you done? And I said yes. And he said, are you willing to go to any lengths to stay clean and sober? I said yes. He said, amazing, you're ready to take some steps. All I need you to be is honest, open-minded to the fact that this can be done, and willing to do fucking anything to get another 24 hours clean and sober. Then I promise you that you will never need to drink or use drugs, or more importantly, feel how you feel right now. And that's been my experience. Since I've done all of this stuff, I haven't had to drink or use drugs one day at a time for over 2 calendar years. Whoa, how does this work, man? You know what I mean? How does it work? So, I start going through the big book, Alcoholics Anonymous, with my sponsor, and the first chapter's called The Doctor's Opinion. So a doctor also has the opinion that I'm allergic to penicillin. So funnily enough, I don't fucking go near penicillin because I know what's going to happen. But with alcohol and drugs, it was so cunning, so powerful, and so baffling that it comes in, it tells me the story that I want to hear, and it convinces me that this next time, John, it's going to be different. And it never, ever, ever was. And the problem, which is outlined in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, it's described as an allergy of the body, an obsession of the mind, and a spiritual malady. So that book tells me that I'm allergic to alcohol and drugs. And when I heard that, I thought, fuck, this makes a bit of sense. And an allergy, which is described in the dictionary as an abnormal reaction. When I heard that, I thought, fuck, they're right. I do have a different reaction from everybody else. I'm going to keep reading this book with this sponsor, by the way. And how the allergy works. It's I put that substance in and this switch goes down and the allergy's off and running. With the allergy, I don't come out in a rash or a high temperature. I came out in handcuffs, police cells, hospital beds, lost another job, thousands of pounds in debt, and my family members hating me. So I put that substance in, the switch is down, and it sets off a craving that's beyond my mental control. And in my experience, nothing's enough. Houses, jobs, cars, relationships, my family, the law, my driver's license, my sanity, my safety, my life, fucking nothing. It tells me where to go, who to go with, and how long for. And it's nothing personal, man. It's strictly business. And when that substance is in and that allergy's off and running, and the phenomenon, a craving, is on me, all bets are off, man. And the next part of it is I also have this mental obsession that somehow, someday, I'm going to beat the game and drink and use like a gentleman. There's nothing gentlemanly about me when I drink and take alcohol or drugs. If I just change houses, change cars, change girlfriends, if I stop going to that pub, go to a different pub, if I try the British Army, if I try cold water, if I try running marathons, boxing fights, motivational videos on YouTube, different countries, fucking only take £20 out, leave my bank card in the house. I tried fucking everything. Nothing works. And I also have this spiritual malady, this internal problem that I try and fill with an external solution. I'm bored, I'm angry, I'm pissed off, I'm resentful. Nothing's ever my fault either, by the way. Fucking God forbid, God forbid. I get the iPhone 14, but the 15 comes out 2 days later. I don't want the 14 anymore. It's a piece of shit, and fucking the battery life doesn't last long now. If my car's £3,000 but yours is 4, I want your car. When I get your car, I don't want it anymore because the brakes are fucking knackered and it's a heap of shit as well. I need a new jacket. When I get the new jacket, I don't want it anymore. I need to lie to make friends. I'm very manipulative. I want everything yesterday as well. And I keep going round and round and round on this carousel because I feel dis-ease. And my brain says, John, if you have 2 pints, you'll forget about this. And then I go to the pub. I have the 2 pints. I set off the allergy. And I'm back on this carousel again. And I don't know when I'm coming off, by the way. And if you're relating to any of this, welcome home. So I keep going through the book and I start to embark on the steps. And the whole purpose of the steps is to get you connected to a power greater than yourself, which can restore you to sanity. So my dad got murdered when I was young, and I stayed a lot of the time with my grandmother. And I always believed in God. And I had this sort of three-headed figure, if you will, of what a higher power was. And I was told that that's all right because it's my own conception of God. I said, right, let's run with it. So step 1, 2 and 3 is I can't handle this. Step 2 is God can. And step 3 is I think I'm going to get in touch with him. And I hand my will and my life over to God. Step 4, I do a list of resentments. People I don't like, people I've harmed, all my fears. And I get all of this down in pen and paper. And this was the game-changing moment. Finally, now I see that I don't drink and take drugs because my dad get killed, or the house where I live, the British Army, fucking that girl who called me fat when I was in primary 5, Boris Johnson, COVID, Brexit, fucking none of it. I drink and I use drugs because I like what happens when I take them. Whoa, that was mind-blowing. And my mum, my sister, the house, the dog, the car, your auntie, none of them make you a drug addict. What makes me a drug addict is when I start, I can't stop. When I've stopped, I can't stay stopped. And I lose the power of choice and I lose the power of control. And why is that? It's because I have an allergy of the body, an obsession of the mind, and a spiritual malady. And that was game changing. Step 8 and 9, I get to make amends to these people. Some went well, some not so well. Step 10 and 11, prayer, meditation and inventory. Prayer and meditation in the morning, and an inventory is a review of your day at night. And in step 12, I get to do stuff like this. You know what I mean? My whole reason for opening this YouTube channel is to try and speak to at least one person and try and carry this message to alcoholics and drug addicts that I've found a solution. I've got a way out. If you're honest, open-minded and willing to put some effort in every single day, then you will never need to drink or use drugs ever again. And that's been my experience, man. So basically what happened was I was fucked. I couldn't do it anymore. And I went to a meeting and I stopped speaking. I started listening and I done what I was told. I got a big book, I got a sponsor, I started working the 12-step programme. I've been connected to this power, which has restored me to sanity. And I haven't had to drink or use drugs one day at a time for over 2 calendar years. And what it's like now, man, it's truly life-changing. It is the best thing that I have ever done for myself. I'm in a hotel just now. I decided to go up to the Scottish Highlands for my 2-year medallion. I've come out of debt. I've got my driver's licence back. I've got a new car. I've decorated my home from top to bottom. My mother will go to bed tonight, not having to worry if I've been involved in another fight or one of my friends have been stabbed again and I'm involved in all the trouble. My sister has got somebody to look towards in the family and say, look at what my brother can do, because her mother and father are still in active drug addiction. The exact same building that my father used to go to and do his dealings, I've went back into the exact same building and opened up a Cocaine Anonymous meeting. I get to go into the exact same place one generation later and say I broke the cycle of drugs and alcohol in this family. I've been promoted at my work. I'm back involved in coaching football, and I'm back involved working in gyms. I just recently booked a trip to Everest Base Camp next year. I'm at peace. I'm happy. I'm content. I'm not stealing anybody's peace of mind. I'm not causing trouble. And I'm trying to help as many people as I can along the way. If you're thinking about sobriety, there has to be a complete surrender. This isn't something that I just do in the weekend. This is a lifestyle. Every single day I follow some clear-cut directions on how to live my life. And I have to get my ego out the road and I have to stop trying to run the show and control everything. And I've let go. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Just trust in the process, and I trust in this power. You know, I'll go to bed tonight with no worries, man. That was life-changing. Internally, I'm so at peace. And it's all about, how can I help people? What can I do for others? How can I carry this message to the still suffering addict that we can recover? I hope one person has watched this and thought, do you know what? I'm going to try this thing, this CA thing, or AA, or NA, or whatever it is. Please get a big book, get a sponsor, work the 12 steps, and you too can have this vital spiritual experience. My two statements to finish is the alcoholic must stop the drinking, or the drinking will ultimately stop the alcoholic. We are in the grips of a progressive illness, and in my experience, this is only getting worse, never better. And for your sake, I hope you all make the same decision that I did. And everybody has two lives. And your second one will begin when you realise that you only have one. Thank you very much for listening. Trust God, clean house, help others. There is a solution. Good night and God bless.